Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to be here with all of my salon-centric friends out there. If you guys can hear me, give me a little thumbs up. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to jump on. Before we get started here, happy Monday, everyone. Let's see. I am so excited. A bunch of you guys are starting to jump in now. Hey, Jessica. Hey, guys. All right, here we go. Now we're getting some traction. So good to be with you guys on a Monday afternoon here. I don't know where you're at, but I'm in sunny Florida right now, so the sun is shining. I'm excited to be here with all of you guys. Throw in the chat where you guys are all watching from. I always love to know where in the world everybody is. But just while everybody's getting signed on here, I'm super excited to spend some time. Marie and I were just talking. It's been a minute since I've been on with Salon Centric, and I'm just so excited to be here with all of you guys today to talk about all the newness that's happening in Matrix and how I incorporate them into my fun styles that we do, especially coming up in this holiday season. So, if you guys know me, holiday is right upon us. And I'm all about quick tips. I'm all about time management. I'm all about making sure that we maximize the time with the people in the chair and make sure that we realize that time is money, right? So we want to do really great things. We want it to look really amazing, but we want it to be super simple. So if you're anything like me, dress work and styling and updos for like weddings and proms and parties and New Year's Eve and all those types of things used to be super intimidating to me. I used to be like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do that isn't so complicated, that has high impact? And the dividing and conquering of a whole dress work style was just completely overwhelming to me. And then I realized that it's just about practice. It's just about having fun with it and sometimes allowing the hair to start you in the direction you want to go and then creating a masterpiece that's unique to the person sitting in your chair. Because I could teach you today all these great techniques, but the person that's going to sit in your chair tomorrow may have completely different hair. So the end result may be completely different. So it's less about today full looks and more about techniques to get to full looks, and then figuring out how you guys can adapt them into the styles that you're going to be doing in your salons on your clients that are sitting in your chair each and every single day coming up this holiday season. So this first beautiful model here that I have here, she's amazing. She has beautiful long hair. Again, don't we wish that every client that came into the salon had amazing, thick, beautiful, luxurious hair? We do wish that everybody did have that, but it's not the case. So that's why this technique is going to be more interesting than it will be the full style, because we want to make sure that we can be able to do these great looks on everyone using all these great Matrix hair products. So you got to start with a strong foundation. Every one of these mannequins that I'm going to go through with you guys today, it's all about making sure that you prep, get the hair ready, build it up, make sure that you really have some substance in the hair and you have really beautiful polished hair to work with. As you can see here with her hair here, it's beautiful, it's luxurious, it's very shiny, it's not frizzy. I can run my hands right through it, which is going to make it that much easier for me to create the end result that I want. So let's talk about a couple products that I used before I blow dry. Two of my favorites. So, I'm sorry, not that one, this one. So, the first one was our Total Results High Amplify Volumizing Foam. What I love about this product is it's going to give me a little structure in the hair. It's also really great for if you're working with finer textured hair that you need a little bit more grip and you want a little bit more width to the hair. But it's also going to give you structure as you're blow drying, and you're able to, build that foundation in, whether you're going to curl the hair or you're going to blow dry and get a beautiful round brush set. Whatever you want to do, this is going to be a go-to. And then I complement it with the Miracle Creator. So I'm going to lay this one down. Miracle Creator 20. This is going to give me the shine and the amount of moisture that I want in the hair and really build in the grip to the hair with the foam working together, so I have nice moisture, really hydrated hair, heat protector, and I have a little bit of hold into the hair. Sound good? All right. So I'm going to get started with first just breaking up this hair to add a little bit of texture into the hair. So another go-to of mine, I don't know, I see a bunch of hearts out there. So total results, Miss Mess. This is gonna be phenomenal. This is gonna be the texturizing spray that goes into the hair that gives us a little bit of grip and allows us to really separate that hair and move it down so that you can see the separation in any curl, or you can add a little bit of thickness to the hair if you're working with finer textured hair. It's gonna be easy for you to manipulate into the hair. Okay, a lot of the styles that I'm doing today, you're gonna see not a lot of curling, very simple, a lot of working with rubber bands and only a few bobby pins. If you're anything like me, I used to use a ton of bobby pins, and then I realized that that's just creating more work for her later to take out of her hair and a lot of work for me in case I put those bobby pins in and I don't like what it looks like when I stand away from it. I now have to pull those all out, and what's gonna end up happening? The hair is gonna get more frizzy. So you wanna make sure that you have control over your hair at all times and that you're not using too many bobby pins so that you don't have to worry about the hair getting too heavy. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm working from the corner of the eye all the way to the corner of the eye with a horseshoe-shaped section. Very simple. We're gonna put a rubber band in here, and then I'm gonna take this away, and I'm gonna just clip it away up on top. So we'll grab a clip here, and you'll see there, clip it out of the way. Then I'm gonna bring all this hair that's in the remainder, and I'm gonna brush it back, and I am going to get it nice and smooth into my hands. She has a ton of hair. She's a beautiful mannequin, has lots of hair thanks to Pivot Point and their amazing mannequins. But one of the things that I realize when I work with heavy hair, especially on clients, is their hair is exactly what I said, heavy. So sometimes it's hard for the hair to stay up without a ton of work and a ton of bobby pins. What's cool about this style is you're gonna see how fast it is and how easy it is to manipulate and hold all in one time. So we've got the two, top pony, bottom pony. I'm gonna pull it down. I'm gonna put my hand into the center here, open it up, you can see there. I'm going to twist it, keeping that center open. I'm gonna slide down that rubber band, and I'm going to pull through that pony from below. And what you're gonna see here very quickly is that I can let go of all this hair because I'm going to now pull it from underneath, and there, it's secure. Her hair is secure. So easy to do. You don't have to have any other bobby pins in there to hold it. So that's going to give you the structure to then say, where do I want to go from here? So I'm going to pull it a little tighter there so that it's nice and taut. I'm going to just brush it so my hair is nice and smooth. And I'm going to brush the other pony underneath. And then I'm going to figure, you know what's cool about this? A lot of people are like, you know what, I'm going to add some texture spray and hairspray to this, and I'm just going to leave it in a really cool twisted pony. And I'm going to go out and leave it like this. That's one option. Definitely can do that. Half up and down, kind of really quick, easy style. But if you want to get a little bit more intricate in it, you could do something totally different. You could do a bunch of curls in this and then position all the curls and get a really beautiful back to this. You could do all kinds of different things with it. I go back to me saying earlier, I like when things are really easy, and I like when I could do things pretty quickly. So I'm going to divide this top pony in half, and I'm going to create what I call kind of like a chain link lock, right? So you can see that there, just in half. And then another one in half here. And then I'm gonna take it down to the bottom, and you can see I've got two, depending on the length of the hair. You could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't really matter. I am going to now take an elastic, and I'm going to secure that in here. And make it nice and taut. And then once I did that, now I'm going to start pulling it apart because I want to start to separate it. So I'm going to use my high Amplify spray, give a little bit of a squirt into the style, very easy, boom, 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 just to get a little bit of squirt in there. I'm going to now move it here, and I'm going to slide my pony down as far as I can without letting it open up. And I'm going to start to just pull apart the chain link so that it's got a little bit more volume to it. Pull on the very outside. When you're starting to pull any kind of braiding away, you want to make sure you're pulling from the outside and not the inside. If you go from the inside, you're going to see that you're just going to create more frizziness. So make sure to pull from the outside, okay? Then I'm going to figure out, where do I want to place this? Do I want all of it to be on one side? Do I want it to come to the other side? How do I want to do this? So I'm going to start eyeballing where I want this style to go. And I do that by using long serrated hairpins because it allows me to go in and out of the style without having any trouble at all. And then I could pull these out later, or I could just stick them back into the style and get them to hold it all that much more. So just push it down like that, pull this one out. Let's say I want to separate it more, I want to get rid of this tail. I could take it and I could lock it into the back of her hair. So easy breezy, and you could just separate it like that. So now you've just covered all the underneath and the extra one that you had. Now this other one that's sitting down here, the smaller one, again, same thing, chain link again. One, you're only going to get one here because you're going to get an end right on the end. And two. Super simple. And then you're going to just elastic the bottom. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the opposite side. You can see here how I've got that movement here. Now I want to hide this piece here, and I'm going to tuck it into itself so that it just disappears. And you'll see. It's all about securing using what's underneath in that foundation. You can tie this underneath. You could do whatever you want to make sure it is nice and secure and easy. So only got a couple bobby pins there. I'm going to take my spray, step away from it. Make sure you're backing away from it so that you can see where you want to go with it. Very classic shape, very easy, timeless. What's great about these kinds of looks is that you could do them all day long on anyone, and no matter where they're going, it's going to be gorgeous. Now start separating it, get your shape that you want, and pull it apart. So I want to see that it's a little bit more grander. Now you can dress it up even more and say, you know what? She's going maybe to a wedding, or she's going to a prom, or she's going to somewhere a little bit more festive. You could just add some bling. And what's cool about this is you could just add something. I'm just going to add this right down the side, and then just lock it in so it looks like it's part of the style with another one of these hair pins, I should say, and then lock it underneath. And that's it. Super simple, super classic shape. So you can build in one whole side that has a lot of glam, and then you can go to the other side that's all twisted and a little bit cooler. Now, if you're wanting something a little bit more fun and deconstructed, you can start pulling this all apart and really making it separated. And that's where you're going to get kind of the drama from the style too. So decide by really your consultation, understanding who's sitting in your chair, what is their personality? Is their personality a little wilder, or is it a little more classic? And then you'll know the shape that you need to create on them. So this is one cool, easy, fast, totally easy to do. No time at all. A couple rubber bands, a twist in the back, and you're done. Out the door. Cool? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are good with this one. Okay. Now, let's talk about natural texture. So if you guys have worked with natural texture before, you're going to love, if you haven't seen it so far, we have at Matrix our new A Curl Can Dream collection, which is off the chart. I'm so excited. I've always felt like at Matrix this was the missing link in the portfolio, and now we've totally fixed that, and we have an amazing curl collection for all those natural curly girls out there. What I will tell you guys is I am on my own texture journey, my own curly girl journey, so to speak, right? Of learning how to really work with great textured hair, making sure that we have beautiful, beautiful textured hair that we can style any different way. And as a hairstylist, I didn't work with a lot of textured clients my whole life. So now, later in my career, I'm actually learning more and more how to do textured hair, and I'm loving every minute of it. So, what I want to show you here is a little technique that I do. Once I get this tripod to work for me, as a little technique that I do here, which is going to allow me to do a comb twist. There we go, I got it to turn. Sorry, everyone. So, the comb twist, what I love about doing a comb twist is, first of all, it's really easy to do. Second of all, it is a great way of taking any kind of uneven curl texture and making it symmetrical around the whole entire head. And one of the things that I love about that is it's giving you a lot of freedom to then take that texture and break it apart after it dries and really make it look beautiful. So I'm going to start with our light bulb gel, which is going to be, again, from the Curl Can Dream collection. Manipulate it into my hands, and I'm going to add a little bit of the oil as well. So if you guys haven't used this one, I'm obsessed with this one. Emulsify them together, and then make sure you go into the section and evenly distribute into the hair. You can see I'm working with a curly girl mannequin, which I love. But one thing that I've learned is it's all about even saturation. You want to make sure that you have complete even saturation from scalp to ends so that you can really control the hair. And you also want to work fast because you know what? It's going to dry quick. So you don't want it to dry frizzy. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to show you a piece or two of how I did it and let you guys kind of go take the technique and do it yourself. And then show you how to take it from the natural set and pull it apart and turn it into a different style. Okay, so I've emulsified it. I'm actually going to use a little bit more product in my hands here. Emulsified it really great into my hair. And then I'm going to now take vertical sections, starting on the outside, and working my way towards the center. And I'm going to take the comb. I'm actually going to switch to this light comb so you can see it against the dark hair. And I wouldn't normally use a tail comb, but because it's light, I want to just give you the idea. So into the hair, into the scalp, twist, grab it from the other side, and twist. Takes you a second to grab it, especially on the shorter hair. Twist, 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 ooh. Twist. Get control of your hair. There we go. Twist, 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 twist. See how even that is all the way down? Make sure that you go all the way to the ends because you want those ends to be nice and saturated and even. Let it drop. Go to the next section. Same thing. Practice makes perfect. I will tell you, I've had to do this 100 times and I'm still not perfected it, but it's all about doing it. It's all about putting yourself out there. It's all about trying something new to make sure that no matter who walks in your salon, you're able to give them a great guest experience. So, again, you guys get the idea. I'm not going to let paint dry. It's like redundant. It's the same exact movement all the way around, but you want to make sure that you twist all the way around the comb until it's nice and even. And then I'm going to do 2 more. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like once it dries. Keep going around, around, around. Okay, all the way down. If you guys have done this before, give me a thumbs up. Okay, if you haven't and you find it valuable, give me a thumbs up. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right. So, as you can see here, moving it in, you guys could see here, lots of little curls here. You're gonna work your way all the way up the back of the head doing the same thing. Make sure the hair is emulsified. Make sure it's nice and even. You wanna make sure that you're getting even distribution of the product because what I will tell you, if you don't, you'll notice that some of your curl won't have the structure that you want and it will end up looking more frizzy than you want. So you wanna really make sure to get that hair the right definition. All right, so I'm gonna shake her out. This is her once she dried. This is a different mannequin, obviously. And what we did here is I went back in and I took a pick like this, a nice wide one, and I started pulling from the scalp area. The one thing that I learned also with curl is you wanna protect the exterior as much as possible. So don't add a lot of manipulation to the ends. Work from the base out. So go inside, pull up. Inside, pull up. This will give you the separation that you want and the movement that you want around the hairline. Around the base. And this will start to separate the curl so that it has movement as you work throughout the curl so that it comes away from the scalp and it allows it to move more. Once you do that, you're then going to go in and you're going to start to separate some of the curls. Now, I like to keep the structure of the curl in. Some people like to completely pull it all apart. It really, there's no right or wrong. It's however you want to see that curl. It's natural curl, so you can let it live in its most beautiful state, or you can continue to sculpt it to the shape that you want. So I'll show you off this corner here. So what I do is I'll take the hair strand straight up. Again, I have the oil in my hand and I'll just separate it, okay? And I'll go right, left, right, left. And what that'll do is it will start to build upon each other, and it'll start to get more and more volume to the style and give you more definition to these beautiful curls. If you're to take a comb through it or a brush through it, what's going to end up happening is you're going to lose that structure that you put in and all the work that you did in doing that comb twist. So you want to make sure that you preserve those curls by just separating them. Don't manipulate those ends. Just separate them and then let them go, because that's going to be when they're going to have the most bounce and the most definition in the curl, and that's what we want to see here. So you can do that all day long. You can do it as many times as you want. You can make it as wide as you want, or you can do it as tight as you want. I just went around the hair and really separated it, but you know why I didn't go crazy? Because I knew I wasn't going to leave it down. You could have totally left it down like this. She's got great curl here. She's got lots of bounce and movement, but I wanted to throw it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start twisting it back. So I'm going to show you guys here. I'm going to start twisting it back so that we have a cool, totally secondary look with it. So I take it and I twist back. I'll move it over here. Come on this side. Twist and twist and twist and twist and twist all the way back. And then I'm going to secure it from underneath. If you can secure it with the pin. Okay, there's one. And do the same thing on the opposite side. And I'm going to twist and twist and twist it back. This is super easy and takes somebody from one look to a totally different look. This length hair obviously is going to be harder for you to get any kind of an updo on. So it's really about giving you structure and shape. So for me, it's about giving her that option to where she can wear her hair different than she does every single day. And it gives it a totally different look. Then I'm going to, in the front, pull this out a little bit more, again, picking it back out. And then I'm going to decide what side do I want to go to on this top. And I'm going to start to move it over to a side. And I'm going to leave some of it down to fall. And I'm going to bring it some back. Again, I'll go back in with the pick and start to give it the volume, but keeping the structure. So making sure that she still has the structure of the curl, but starting to build the shape in from the base. Do some finishing touches with my spray. Give it some texture there. And again, I'm in this mode right now where I love to use accessories. So this would be another good one that you can use a really cool accessory piece, something fun. Do it on one side and give her a totally more glammed effect. Boom, pull it out, and you'll see that she has a little bit more glam. You just keep going crazy with pulling these out. Me personally, the more you pull it out, I think the cooler it looks. The more you can see the definition in the curl, the separation that you get, and that's what I love so much about this oil. The Curl Can Dream oil is so nice because you can just emulsify it in your hands, and then you could just keep going to town to whatever you want to see this texture look like, and you can keep building and building and building. So if I had a little bit more time with you guys, I would keep building because I would love how this is starting to look out here, and I would get that silhouette to have a little bit more shape here. But you guys kind of get the idea there. So secure all the way back. Bring the one side to the front to one side, really separate out these curls, get the volume up on top, leave all this in the back out so she's got that fun texture on the bottom, and there you go. There's another way to do a really fun natural curl set without any heat at all. So I let this all air dry, which is so cool because it's not about adding all the heat with natural texture hair. This one was just a comb set that I did. Just to recap, I used two of my favorite products. Right? This is the new A Curl Can Dream Light Hold Gel, and then the oil combined together, and it went curl by curl all the way around the comb. set that down and let it air dry. Now, if you have a hooded dryer, you could do that as well in the salon. And then once it's dry, then you go back in and build your structure from there. Okay, one more look that we're gonna go through here. All right, so I've got my beauty here. This is another one, super easy. Someone comes in the salon, they're like, I want a really great hairdo, but I wanna do something different. Here's the thing, a lot of clients come to us and they have all these great ideas of what hairstyles look like in the back, right? But they never show us the front of the hairstyle. They just show us the back. So you can do all this great manipulation to the back of the hair, but when you see in the front, the problem is it doesn't look great, or it doesn't have enough hair in the front hairline, or it's not balanced for every single person's hair. So you may have this style that someone brings into the salon and they're like, oh, this is what I really want. And then they realize that in the front hairline, they're really weak around the front hairline. So what ends up happening is it doesn't look balanced. So this is a really cool look. It's what I call the braided wreath. And what I love about the braided wreath is, again, it's so simple. And it's all about making sure that you give somebody the illusion that their hair is a lot thicker than it is. So it's about bringing the hair from the back to the front and giving it a really fun, beautiful, totally different look. Very boho, very beautiful and chic. Okay, so just like my the first mannequin, what I did here is I went in and I started with our, I started with our high amplify foam. Again, I always do this. And if I'm gonna use any kind of heat, this is another tip that I do. If I'm gonna do any kind of curling, which I did a very light just to smoothen out her hair, I put a little foam in a bowl and then I use it as I curl. So instead of using hairspray on every single section, I use a little bit of the foam and then I take the hair into my hands and I emulsify it and then I go and I put it around the iron. The thing is, you want to make sure it doesn't feel wet. So you're not using a ton of product, very little that's going to build in that hole there. All right, then you're going to decide, where do I want to see this hairstyle? So in this case, we want the wreath to live in the front, okay? So if I want to do that, I do a center part all the way down. This is also really great if somebody has any kind of a fringe, or a curtain fringe, or a side swept fringe. This is going to be really beautiful too, because they can have all those pieces coming out underneath the wreath. If they don't have any, totally cool, you're gonna see it on this mannequin. It's gonna still look really beautiful and you can create the texture within the guts of the style that you do. All right, and then again, I do every single style with, of course, my Miss Mess spray. So, total results, Miss Mess spray, going into the hair, giving you the texture and the movement into the hair. This is gonna give you the grip that you need, right? Again, if you're just tuning in, for anybody that has finer textured hair, this is fantastic as well, because it is going to allow you to give the hair a little bit more illusion that it's thicker than it really is. So see how my pony even got thicker just now. All right, always brush through because you want to keep your hair very clean and very polished in your sections. Now, what I'm going to do is decide what braid do I want to do. It could be any braid that you want. So I'm going to do just a simple 3-strand so you can get the idea here. And then I'm going to open it up from there, okay? So let's see here. I'm going to do a 3-strand, very simple. You could do 4, you could do 6, you could do a fishtail braid, you could do any kind of braid you want. But this is where time is money, right? And we talked about that earlier. We want to do stuff that's really fast and really impactful and is going to make your client feel beautiful as they walk out. Okay. Chandra says, Miss Mess has changed your life for your fine hair. I believe it. It's amazing. Okay. I am going to just tie this in. And now if I want, I could do a totally different braid on the other side. It really doesn't matter. You could do whatever you want. That's the beauty of this. You can make it super simple. You could do completely different looks or the same. I'll do it the same just so I get some symmetry here. Okay. And again, that's less about the braid. It's more about keeping your sections nice and neat and making sure that you have control over the hair. And that's what I love about using kind of this methodology of dividing and conquering. In my mind, when I think of dividing and conquering, it makes it easier for me to work on one section of the hair than to work on the whole entire style at one time. So think about that. By me having these two ponies already in place makes it so much easier for me to think about where I want to go next in the style. Okay, now I've got those 2 ponies there, and I'm going to take the hair out, and I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going to start on the outside. Actually, I'm going to start from the bottom, and I'm going to start on the outside. Remember I said it, no matter what braid it is, always go from the outside and start pulling it apart. The more imperfect this looks, the more beautiful and natural and not forced it's going to look. And the younger girls right now, when they go out, they don't want their hair to look forced. They almost want it to look like they threw it up in 2 seconds. So make sure, again, understanding the client that you're working with in the chair, that you're getting the shape that you want within that person that fits the personality. So you can see here, I got that nice balloon effect there. Again, I'm gonna go to the opposite one. You can also, again, if you're working with finer hair, take your mess again back into the hair so you can continue to get that grip. If your hair is real fine towards the ends, giving that grip is going to be really important so that you don't lose the structure on the end of the ponytail. So don't forget that. Okay. Just pull slightly on the outside there. Remember I said don't pull from the inside. If you do from the inside, it's going to be really kind of sloppy and it's going to be frizzy. Always make sure that you're taking control over your shape. Okay. So again, pulling these out. So you can see, I have both of them. Easy breezy. Now you're gonna decide, okay, where do I want this to go? So in this case, we want this to come around her face, right? So give her a really beautiful look here. Cascade over one eye, bring it across, and then maybe build it up with some more glam accessories. We'll see in a second where that nets out. The nice part too, you can take a clip and just hold that there while you figure out where you want to go with all of the pinning in your hair. I'm only going to use a couple pins. If you notice, none of my hairstyles have a ton of bobby pins in there because I don't think you need them. If you're working with the right support in the elastics, you could just go in and add a couple pins underneath and you will get exactly the shape that you want. Super simple. Okay, one more here. And then we'll secure it down. And then decide where we want to go from here. Okay, now we can get rid of these. This clip that I had there holding it all in place. Put that under there to hold her there. And now we can decide, do we want to go here? Do we want it to be a full wreath? We could do a full wreath. We could go the opposite direction. We could really play with where you want this to live. So this would be kind of a full wreath. And then I would take this in really tight on the side. And you can get that asymmetry there. You could do that. Or you can go the opposite way and come back around the back and then tie it into the front. So your style really lives all on one particular side. I'm kind of into that. So let's try that. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you think that you like it all to one side. No one. No, I'm just joking. Okay. I'm going to pin it all to one side, but then you're going to see how I'm going to totally change it up by the accessories that I add. So don't be afraid of accessories if you are. Okay. One side, one pin. We'll do 2 just for good luck. And I'll start to pull it apart again. And then I'm going to decide where I want to go here. And now that I have this kind of baked in here, I'm going to pull it so it looks a little bit more finished on the edge. Secure it underneath. Sometimes using a smaller hairpin is going to be better. Gives you better shape. Keep this nice and taut. And then figure out how you want to tuck your ends. You'll see I tucked my ends underneath. And now I want to start to embellish. So I have some fun pieces here, so you can decide how crazy you want to go with them. I have all these different kind of pins. So you can go kind of in here, and you could do some of these in between. And it just totally takes it to more of a fun, festive kind of feel. And you could break them up a little bit with some other types. And it also is cool because it will hold them down. And then on the opposite side, I'll use it to hide what I don't like, which is the end of that pin. You can start to see this come to life. All right, give me a thumbs up if you guys are digging it. You could leave it in the back, or you can come up in the front a little bit more here. I'll do a couple more, just because why not? It's the holidays, right? Go a little extra glam. And then I'm gonna put one there. Space them out, give them their own little signature moment. Kind of flower girl moment all the way around. And one more for good luck. Okay. So, give you a total look around here. So, all the way around. Nice and balanced. Very fun. And then I just put this one kind of sticking out, but you can actually, that's pretty far out. You could just kind of squish it down a little bit. And it hides the other braid, which gave it really nice and taut all the way on the other side. All right. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments. I would love to answer them. Just to refresh with you guys what we did here. Again, 2 ponies on the side, right behind the ear. On each side, really nice, beautiful blowout. First, of course, using my Amplify foam to give me a little bit of movement and structure. Dry the hair, then went back in with my Miss Mess texture spray to really give it a little bit more grip in there, and then broke it down into 2 different braids, one on each side. Again, have fun with the braid. Do the craziest braid that you can do, and then really deconstruct it so that it looks more lived in and boho feel to it. And then I just went back in, secured off, kind of asymmetrical, and then used some fun accessories to just adorn it to make it look a little bit more festive. Or you can even go wedding if somebody wants to do any kind of wedding hair like this. If she was a client in the salon, I would also pull some of these kind of fun hairs down so that she would have some pieces kind of hanging down on her neck. It would give her some softness and femininity, and it would look really beautiful and elegant. So, if you haven't tried yet, I would strongly recommend going back to my curly girl. A curl can dream. Again, a curl can dream. So excited. We finally have an amazing curl line for those natural curly girls out there. Really beautiful. If you haven't gotten your hands on it, make sure to head over to Salon Centric and get your hands on it because it is pretty amazing. And also all these great looks that we created today, using all my Matrix products, all my fun different tricks. Hope you guys had a blast. I can't believe time flies when we're having fun. This has been so great. Salon Centric, thanks for having me today. If you have any questions on any of the Matrix products, please put the comments in there. I'll be checking them out a little bit later, and I will make sure to answer them. Hope you guys have a beautiful holiday season, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone.